This video will serve as a general guide for Ocean's Hungry Grasp in the Spirit Island board game. The ocean is a powerful spirit that dominates the coastline and excels at removing all types of invaders. The only weakness is that it has effectively zero impact on far inland lands. This guide assumes that you are playing a solo game. The difference with multiplayer is that you have allies to deal with the inland lands, so you can focus on all of the coasts. Ocean's Hungry Grasp is extremely fun to play in multiplayer since you have a spatial freedom in all oceans and can have an impact on all boards. The solo game is a little more restrictive, so you can definitely use this video as general advice and adapt your play to multiplayer games. The general strategy for the Spirit is to uncover the elements on our top track while also fishing for minor or major powers to address inland lands. If we look at the starting board, our growth options have a really fantastic imitation of the tides, pushing and pulling your presence onto the shoreline and back into the ocean during reclaim. Since we start with only one presence on the coast itself, one of our immediate needs is to push presence onto the coastal lands so we can target inland lands in the future. Additionally, we want to be gaining power cards using our third growth option. There has to be a balance of adding double presence with our second growth option and increasing our land presence with the third growth option. So the first two turns, I believe we should play our second growth once and our third growth once before the reclaim. Looking at the elements on our starting cards and also considering energy constraints, it makes the most sense to play our two zero-cost cards on turn 1. We want to grow by placing one presence on a coastal land and pushing another presence from the ocean. This gives us a presence on each of the 3 coastal lands. The power card we gain is also relatively important. First and foremost, we need something with 1 or 2 range to deal with inland lands. Next, we want to consider elements. Looking at the board in our innates, we can get up to tier 3 on Ocean Breaks the Shore using only 2 card plays, assuming we uncover all of the elements on the top track. We can also get to tier 2 on Pound Ships to Splinters. However, we still need an extra air element to unlock the tier 3 version of Pound Ships to Splinters to generate 4 fear. On all boards, the furthest a land can be from the coast is 2 spaces away, so we want to gain at least 1 power that is able to target the furthest inland land. The way the boards are designed, there are 3 types of coastal lands and 1 land type that have both inland lands. The blight that starts in the beginning of the game starts in the non-coastal land type, in this case jungle. It might be a good idea to hold on to your Call of the Deeps card until turn 2 to avoid a cascade on turn 3. Again, this also depends on which minor power you pull on turn 1. With all this in mind, the growth order I'm suggesting is to do growth 3 on the bottom track on turn 1, then growth 2 on the top track on turn 2, reclaim, growth 2 from the top track on turn 4, growth 3 from the top track on turn 5, and growth 2 from the bottom track on turn 6. This allows us to drown a city on turn 3, uncover all of our elements, gain 3 minor powers, and get to 3 card plays. The Spirit can undoubtedly deal with the coastal lands, but addressing the inland lands depends on the minor powers you receive. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.